I believe, most common champions would follow through, possibly even the Yumi.
Yeah, the Ashe, the Senna, I've seen it a lot, also getting banned a lot of times. Even the Karma. I haven't seen an Ashe and a Gwen during this whole day. And I mean, the Aatrox too, I haven't seen any of it because people don't want to play against the Aatrox. Aatrox is just so good, especially in those last team fights, because the amount of AoE and the amount of damage that he can give is just so much.
Yeah, the unkillable Aatrox is
Aatrox.
what we call this guy, at least here in our region. Akali has been banned away, also a champion that hasn't seen light in most of the games so far. Here,
Really?
Dashin. Yes, kind of expected, because again, this champion is just a problem waiting to happen for you. And this is a very expected pick coming from Chasing Dreams. It feels like that every single time the Camille is open, is going to be the first pick.
Yeah. And once you pick the Camille, Gal is going to be picked by the other team because they don't want to get that easy combo in against you guys. They pick the Galio and the Karma. They most likely want to get this in the bot lane. But most of the time, when we talk about it, we don't like Karma in the bot lane because it doesn't have the same flair when it comes to the wave clear compared to the other options that we have.
Yeah, and that actually opens up the explosive duo of Gragas in Ziggs in the bot lane.
Yeah.
Timelapse is also a very good Ziggs player. But with Karma picked up here, at least it's not going to be a Zoe game. And we're not going to be annoyed with all those skill shots left and right. This is also a very strong pickup coming from OBA. They have prioritized Fiora as a potential counter pick to the Camille. But there still is a question as to what will be the mid laner and the jungler for both sides. Because it does feel like that we have everything set in stone, at least for the Baron and duo.
Yeah, if they want to have the single target here on the side of OBA, because there's damage coming in from the Fiora, right? But it's still not going to be enough. They might need a Yone in their composition if ever they need to double down on the damage department. But there's still a possibility of Kha'Zix. After the Hextech Ultimatum. Surprised.
Yeah.
I'm surprised too.
Yeah, I actually prefer Vi for OBA, at least in this draft. It would make a lot more sense, especially against the lineup of Chasing Dreams and their reliance on the Ziggs. Remember, the focal point of CD's offense, at least in this draft, is to make sure that time-lapse goes untouched.
Yep.
The more bombs being thrown away by the Ziggs over and over again, the better the chances are for them to win skirmishes, team fights, and overall the game. So squishy.
Yeah. They have a lot of damage though, but they can get assassinated by the Kha'Zix really
exactly
easily. Yeah, I mean, and also I thought they're gonna be picking the Garen here on the last pick because they also have a lot of damage already, but they went for the Zeri.
And this is actually a bit scary for the side of Chasing Dreams because
that's true. That's true.
You have a very squishy lineup. Spells won't really be a tanky Baron laner. And when talking about the Gragas, he's not going to be paired up with a Senna, which means that he won't have access to the early game resources that would allow him to be a little bit more tankier. So overall, I could see that OBA would be able to penetrate through Chasing Dreams.
Pretty
overall,
easily.
I'm just lacking I'm just lacking their draft overall for OBA.
Yeah, I mean, they're not as slippery as we almost think they are, especially with this composition. Yes, they have some ways to get away from the fight, but with the Karma, it would be easier for them to just get closer. The Inspire to the Kha'Zix just makes it easy to get to the back line, and Kanji and Timelapse are easy targets. And I really hope that it was a melee at the last pick, because if they had the melee, it would be easier. Maybe a Riven could have been good.
Even a Garen is actually a perfect
is good,
fit. Because all you have to do if you're facing against the Kha'Zix is to pile on top of each other and wait for the Kha'Zix to hesitate and to go in. And all you have to do is to go for that Bog's Plat moment. But that's all in theory. As we say here in Wild Rift, wild things happen.
Really wild. I hope it would be. Because honestly, the draft is wild. That's all I can say. The draft is very wild. I hope it would go in favor of one another. But with what we've seen for now, even OBA with the Zeri last pick, their composition could have been good because the Kazakhs and even the Fiora is good, but they have the Zeri too. So that's just doubling down on the damage, which is really surprising. But now we're going to go into the game, Chasing Dreams versus OBA. This is game one, and we have a wild game in front of us.
I think one of the reasons why they went for the Zeri is at least it will be a ranged versus range matchup in the mid lane. But it's very well documented that Zeri is a very, I would say, weak champion when it comes to early game. But look at Liang. Whoa.
That fight, and that just not enough time for Liang.
My God, what a movement
He's
from
not yet
OBA
done.
Chasing Dreams. Oh,
He's not yet done, actually. He's still
this could be a first
fighting
blood.
out in OBA and forced spells to walk away, and that just
What?
netted them a bit of
No
a delay
smite!
here.
No smite, no
Now
smite!
without smite, he can take this. Oh, it's a good thing he wasn't able to. Frenzy's now low on HP, forced the flash away, and forced the flash on Liang too.
Yeah, but that's a good 50-50 force by
That's
Liang, and a flash for a flash. It's actually very beneficial for the side of OBA. That's a support flash to the flash of Frenzy, and more importantly, time 8. Did have the time of his life to get 2 camps already and also steal the rest.
I like this lineup though. The Zeri versus the Corki in the mid lane is a very honest fact. Is they're just gonna be fighting against each other, not doing a lot of damage, but still just farming. So it all comes down to who gets their items first. But I believe Anji would have a better mid game impact compared to the Zeri, because so far Zeri hasn't found success during this day.
And all...
I mean, Naos did, but
But...
not the Zeri in itself.
right. So they won not because of the Zeri. That's what you meant.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh. This is but this is a very slippery Zeri, as we always hear from multiple casters from League of Legends PC. Zeri is our newest champion to be made available here in Wild Rift Esports. And so things to expect about this champion is that, you know, our pro players are still in the experimenting stage, I would say, when it comes to itemization, because earlier we saw Trinity, not really Trinity Force, but Black Cleaver built.
Black Cleaver,
by Matsura on this champion. But all that, another engage.
Going for 5 though. We weren't able to get it.
Frenzy. No flash.
Young,
Okay.
now being the target, being damaged. In time, he has now low HP. Might be able to commit to this, but at least a 1%.
And now Renzi at least was able to return the favor.
Okay,
A 0.
time lapse. Inspired damage right there. 0 takes a 1-for-1 out of the map.
Yeah, not a 0. It's 0. Again, that's
0.
a 1-for-1. You're right. Chasing Dreams. Renzi was having a hard time already, at least in the jungle. And that kill was, I would say, what was needed by Renzi to come back into this game. Because as you can see, OBA was able to get, or Time 8 was able to steal away his red buff. And had it been that Liang did not overextend, you know, things should go in the favor of OBA. Luckily for them, they were able to at least get a solo Gupolo in the bot lane. And that's not what you want if you are time-lapse. This matchup between the Karma and the Ziggs, no one should die.
Yeah. They should just be chilling in the bot lane and not getting any kills, but maybe because they were able to deal tons of damage already on the bot lane, you know, just tilt it whenever it comes down to the Karma, which is why it's a bit hard. But right now, mid lane, the pressure is going to be on, and they might just take the knowledge out of them. Damage, like the crash has been pulled through. Not a lot of damage, but they're trying to take down the minions in order for them to just back away, not give them the second plate right there.
Yeah, that could have been disastrous for the side of OBA, because once you are able to make the tower's HP go down below 60%, that's very vulnerable to just one headbutt from Shelly. And this Shelly would be contested, at least in this game, because I see that both of them wants to find tempo. They don't want the other team to really get that advantage and snowball this game out of control. So it's very possible that both this lineup or both these teams would actually go for a 5v5 skirmish in a couple of seconds.
At this point, there's still quite equal, not a lot of fights happening. 5 minutes is when we actually see something coming after both of our teams. So far, from the PH teams that we've seen a while ago, they always have a priority when it
He
comes
spotted.
to this dragon. Now, with the spot that we have, might be get kill on in here because of the vision right there.
Yep.
Not going to be continuing. Looking at where the Z is, Renzi might be prioritizing this dragon.
And that's actually a little bit surprising because I thought that Chasing Dreams wants to go for tempo, especially that they have the Ziggs. But they have the better read. They have the vision available here. And with the package available, Chasing Dreams is melting this dragon fast.
They're just taking it without any contest coming from OBA. OBA is just taking the referral by themselves. I believe that when it comes to this take, it's supposed to be more valuable for Chasing Dreams to just take the referral because that's an easy mid lane. But now Death Mark on the back line. Zero forced to back away, but the Mega Inferno Bomb almost taking the kill on Zero.
One auto attack away from the assassination. I feel that Renzi just pulled away from his Death Stance. Not
Too
Death
early.
Stance. What was it? That mark.
That
What
mark,
was I
yeah.
saying? All right. Anyway, so that mark a little bit too early, but that's okay, right? Oftentimes you would see that here in Wild Rift, in where you utilize the death mark just for that extra shadow, AOE damage, shurikens, and of course shadow dashes or slashes will actually be very, very hurtful by the time that he has a lot of items in his pocket. But right now we are back onto the stalemate.
Ooh. Yeah, stop side. Hextech Ultimatum has been used to get some frames, but it's not enough to actually survive, and OBA takes another kill.
Yep, breaks open the game, breaks open the tower on the top side. A momentum swing for the side of OBA. Disaster has to be careful.
Yeah, tower on the top side, and OBA still continuing to actually push, but it's going to be taken out. Referral is going to fall down, and OBA slowly but surely are just playing around time 8, and this is what you want whenever you have a Kha'Zix in your team.
An assassin versus assassin
Wait.
matchup.
Which they use Avoid Assault, gets away, gets the Rift Scuttler easily.
I waited though, because he told me to wait, so I waited. There's
Sorry.
nothing explosive happened there. Dash, there's an explosive one.
Yeah, explosive cast going in, Justice Punch. Not going to be continuing with the Mega Inferno Bomb. That might be the kill on Leon. He's going to fall down with the damage, and that is going to be Renzi falling down in answer. Good trade for OBA.
And this is what we are talking about, right? If Chasing Dreams did prioritize the referral, they would have access to this mid lane tower being broken apart. And that was a difference maker there. The tower standing strong there was actually what was needed by OBA. Doesn't have mana Uin.
Uyin. I'm just scared to actually fight this with the Lightning Crash, but time lapse in Kanji dealing so much damage against this guy. But again, they're going to be going back to their places, going back to their dance positions, and they're just going to be pushing around.
Now God has a little bit of the advantage on the Baron side just because of that very timely roam from time int. And now we talk about the items of Uyen. This is not the Mitsuro build that we saw from earlier. This is C4s, just more, I would say, damage overall.
Yeah.
And not really survivability, but
G gonna be the target.
Oh!
Comes in the donut in the middle, gets the kill.
call it Bavarian, call it whatever. That's
They have a filling.
Yeah, that's a very easy assassination that was initiated by Zero. It's one of the things that I would say, is it the fault of Chasing Dreams or is it because OBA was just so crisp with their movements? I think it's a little bit of both. Chasing Dreams is not getting the good read of where OBA is in the map. That's because of the vision that has already been supplanted here by OBA. So overall, just from the few minutes earlier, I still firmly believe that OBA's game plan here is to accelerate this game out of tempo for the side of Chasing Dreams. But the good thing for Chasing Dreams is they have Ziggs, the defense minister of Fadra.
That's why it's still hard to take down this mid lane turret, right? Because this is what they want to do. OBA wants to open up the map to give more opportunities for time 8. But now, with the refill in 5 seconds, they could potentially do that if time lapse goes out of control, or at least out of position.
Oh, time 8 though. Okay. Playing with fire, good thing Spelts was not there to pull the trigger for that Hextech Ultimatum, but the Rift Herald is now being contested.
Yeah, no visions whatsoever yet, and they're gonna go in with Hextech Ultimatum to Liang. Gonna
Kanji!
go get tree, and that's gonna be a Mega Inferno Bomb to kill Liang, but they still weren't able to find anything else. The package was enough to actually push them out of the way, and that is an easy take, even for OBA.
Who took the Red Herald? Was it Kanji?
Oh.
Was it? No, I mean, was it Renzi or OBA?
OBA was able to take it.
Okay. All right, so OBA was still able to get what they were after, and that still is a prize win for them. Now onto the scaling component of this champion. At least in 4.0C, we saw Zeri being nerfed quite a bit. Just a small nudge here and there. There you go. You're right. Time 8 does have access to that Rift Herald, which means that OBA could actually make a play here in the mid lane, summon the Rift Herald, and go for the Dragon contest.
Yeah, they can go for another fight here if ever they want to, but Chasing Dreams, they found success a while ago with the package, but now they don't have that in their hands. Rift Herald is available still, so they can still go for a fight here, but look at how it happened. It was able to get a boop. What was that? And now Mountain Drake could now be taken, but look at the position of Renzi. That could be quite scary.
True, but Kanji's now half health. The good thing for the side of Chasing Dreams is that Time 8 did expend his Void Assault.
Liang too aggressive.
Oh no!
Wasn't able to find anything else. The Deathmark is going to come in. Was able to pull him back. And that's going to be the kill on to the Galio. They still don't have the Gargoyle. No defender whatsoever in the team. 4v5. A fight that Chasing Dreams would want to go for. But with what they're looking at right now, they just want to take down bottom lane. Look at this. Hextech Ultimatum backline. Uyen not going to be a good target. And Enzo is there. Zero is there to help them out. Mountain Drake is still available. So this can still be a fight.
And a good flanking position coming from God here. God from above is a very scary sight.
God from above. Is he going to be raining down the lightning against his members? They're going to go in. Look at the aggression coming in from together with the heroes. And just another God is going to come in from top of the air. The Angel has been landed. And this is going to be the time for OBA. Weren't able to find any kills, but at least they were able to find what they're looking for. And that is a dragon.
That's a very messy team fight here, Dash. I'm trying to figure out what's happening, but all I saw was Renzi not being there to go for that 50-50 because he did try to chase one member of OBA, and that I would say is a miscommunication, but that's okay. I mean, they were able to get the tower, they were able to get the bug, so Chasing Dreams was still able to get something out of nothing, but there's... What? Okay. Alright, I respect that. But there's just this thing that basically baffles me. Right now, Chasing Dreams and OBA is just like trading some pleasantries with each other. I'm going to throw, no you throw. I'm going to throw, no you throw. And at the end of the day, we have a very, I would say, even game that has a slight favor in the favor of Chasing Dreams.
Yeah, Chasing Dreams was able to gain the mid lane turret, and as we said a while ago, they had the Rift Herald on the hands of OBA, but the only value that they had during that fight was the bottom lane turret. But right now in the live, we're seeing another fight happening. It's the Camille versus the Fiora, 2v1 together with themselves, but they still weren't able to net them the kill on the side of OBA.
Now, there was some sort of replay that I wanted to try to analyze, but you're right. There was a there was a skirmish that was happening on the bot lane. Returning the favor is Chasing Dreams, but they want to crash this tower. Disaster.
Cass wanted to pull them back, and Zero is going to be the target here. And with what we've seen from Disaster, great Mega Inferno Bomb from the backline, but time-lapse just bursted throughout the air. They were still able to get a 1-for-1.
Time 8 versus time-lapse. Time 8 wins round number 1. Uyen, though, was able to at least defend the tower against Spelts. But overall, you could see that, the small cracks in the defenses of OBA is being... I would say taken advantage of by Chasing Dreams. You could see that Renzi was able to steal the blue buff, Kanji being left on an island on the top side, and just earlier, Spells was also able to inflict damage onto the second tower of OBA. It does feel like that, OBA is answering the aggression by Chasing Dreams, but slowly but surely, you could say that CD is out macroing this team from Masters region.
Yeah, even though that we've said a while ago that the Rift Herald being taken by OBA has great value so far, mid lane hasn't been taken over yet. They're having a hard time doing macros around this. And Chasing Dreams, as you said, they're just capitalizing on it, and they're very successful with it. And now they want to go for a fight because they know that they have the advantage at this point.
14 minutes and 30. I don't think that both these teams has what it takes to really surprise each other, to get a Baron. But you can see that the 1v1 between Spelts and God is no longer a 1v1 because Disaster is there as well as Time 8. But there is, a very clear identity for OBA. It feels to me that Time 8 is the heart and soul of this team because almost all plays that they did was at the back of Time 8.
Yeah. Time 8 has always been very aggressive whenever they had the chance because, as we said, they have a lot of targets to latch onto. The kanji, time lapse, they can just burst them down pretty fast. And a while ago, we saw a trade just fast. Timeless just fell down really fast during that fight. And OBA right now, they need to find more value out of the map because Uyen and God were waiting for them to actually get the damage that they need. But with the second item, I believe that Uyen doesn't have it still. Maybe at the third item, that is when this series is going to go in.
Maybe even fourth. I just feel that, the progression of marksman items here in Wild Rift feels to me that, you need 4 items to really be very impactful. Is that going to be the win condition for OB? Obviously, right? They were so confident in picking the Zeri. And we haven't seen a Zeri pop-off moment. Is this the game that we will see it? Maybe not. But right now, Renzi has been, standing toe-to-toe against Time 8. And I did say that Time 8 is the heart and soul for OBA. Feels to me that Chasing Dreams also has that same identity.
Yeah, Spell's gonna be the target. No magic whatsoever. Hextech Ultimatum gonna come in with a hero's entrance. It's gonna push them back and not gonna be following through. And OBA just gonna back away without any food on their backs.
Yeah, and in 20 seconds, we have the dragon respawning. What shadow?
Death mark on his head. They have one right there. There you go. The scope is in, but it's not enough damage to actually get the kill on God. They have Uyen here. They're going to be following suit. Ultra Shock Laser not hitting.
I love this go. Ultra Shock Laser. All right, then. Liang.
Laser
I know, let's go. Go back.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they have the lasers. They have Disaster. And it's going to be a disaster for Chasing Dreams if he won't be able to get away. But he has the flash to work with. Mega Inferno Bump to put 0 onto low HP. Spelts might be able to find his spray. He would be able to get the taunt in. Uyen is dealing some damage, but not enough to actually be impactful in this team fight. They have the package to work with. Uyen is still running around, but Renzi too aggressive. Might fall down. He doesn't have anything. He has the flash to work with. Explosive cast to pull him back. And this Infernal Drake is still alive at this point. We're still not done with this fight. They still want to take it. They're low HP, but Time 8 is the only healthy member right here on their side. They have the Hextech Ultimatum to work with. Infernal Drake is going to be for free on the hands of Chasing Dreams. They're sticking together. They're not giving Time 8 any chances to assassinate anybody of them. Time 8 1 HP and survives.
Okay, alright. Well, another engage coming from Renzi. That's it.
Yeah.
In that, okay. So this is one of the bigger differences that we have in Wild Rift and League of Legends PC. Here in Wild Rift, you can cast your Death Mark 2 times in a clash. And you saw here, Renzi started the team fight by going for 0 or Uyen and ending that clash with an exit kill with another Death Mark. And that's the reason why we love Zeds here in Wild Rift, right?
Yeah.
4 items already for the Zed. Yep.
Yeah, much more explosive and much more mobility, if you ask me, because the Living Shadow, you could, but now not much mobility for this guy because Liang is going to be stopped and he's going to be falling down. That is the best CC in the game and no more mobilities for you, Liang.
Yep, God is downstairs trying to take a tower for himself, but Chasing Dreams, they have a decent objective taking damage. They have the Ziggs. They also have Renzi to supplement the 80 damage. But God is still by his lonesome here in the bot lane and is now going to face against Spells. So far, Chasing Dreams is doing what is needed. Another pick.
Zero's going to fall down here pretty fast. Not even a contest against that. And Renzi's just... I don't know. Renzi's just too strong right now.
Yeah, he's smurfing right now. It's easy to say right now that Renzi has basically signed, sealed, and delivered this game number 1 for Chasing Dream, barring any jinxes from the caster desk. But I'm really seeing the Chasing Dreams has checked almost all win conditions that they need. They have a very good scaling on Kanji, on time-lapse, and Renzi has just been a very good Zed in this game.
And we've said a while ago that their composition deals a lot of damage, and if you don't have any ways to actually mitigate that, because Liang hasn't found any successes. Look at this, he's 0-7-0. He's friends with Owen. He's 0-7. So, I don't know. That's really hard. That's not a lot of value for a Galio.
Yeah, and to say that, the first few minutes was the Liang show, to see that, it has become the I would say grim show that we're seeing right now from Liang with no assist whatsoever. I didn't even know that's possible.
Yeah. And with a lot of fights that happen, there's a lot of kills that happen too. And might be a kill here to aggressive Kanji. We're going to backline Lightning Crash, but they might be able to get some kills. Uyen is going to be forced to back away with the package. The damage coming in from Kanji is much more valuable. But this Drake is going to be falling down, and that's going to be their chance. Heroes Enter is going to come in right here, right now. The chance is right now for Renzi to actually go and pop off again against these members of OBA, because this might be the end of this game. Another Living Shadow has been casted, and this would be the end. One more attack, and that's going to fall for 0 to hero, is what Renzi called himself.
Yeah, showing the Dragon's wings, Chasing Dreams has their sights over to the mid lane tower, but Time 8 going in.
Oh, what is that damage? I was surprised too. Time 8's gonna be running away, but Kanji is still here to do damage. The Elder Dragon just actually breathed through these members from the side of Chasing Dreams. All of them are gonna fall, and this would be the first game, but it's no surprise right here to lose, because we said Renzi, everybody just checked all their boxes on this first game.
Yeah, Chasing Dreams with their identity of putting their resources over to Renzi. Rough start for him, but a very commendable performance. You know what I would call it?
What do you call it?
Stay cool performance. You know the medal, honor medal that we used to give back in the day? Stay cool.
I don't know.
One of them, right?
Okay, right. I remember now. Yeah.
Okay, right?
Actually,
that was back in the LoL PC though. Stay cool.
Yeah, back then. But now, he's a very tenacious guy for Renzi to actually just stay, because Time 8 was performing pretty well at the start of the game.
Yep.
But at some point, it was really hard to find value out of it. Yes, we said that it would be easy for Time 8 to get some kills. Yes, he got some kills, but it's okay, because there's still some resources that they can fall back to.
Some of the highlights that we have seen from game number 1, the solo kill moment from Zero against Timelapse that I didn't know was possible. Was impossible. Liang, by the way, I'm not 100% sure what his endgame record was. Did he even secure an assist? Maybe not. But again, just a very sad showing from Liang's very good early game. It started with his attempt to basically steal that Grump, because had it been that Liang was able to steal that Grump away from Renzi, because that's a good 50-50, right?
Oh, right.
The smite was already there. It would have been a very different game altogether for the side of OBA. And again, Chasing Dreams just checking their check marks. One at a time.
And time again, I've seen from Liang that Liang gets 3-man taunts, 4-man taunts, but there's no follow-up. Because nobody's going to follow up in this team composition. Because you have a Zeri, you have a Fiora. Yes, they're going to be doing damage, but there's no follow-up when it comes to the CC that could couple that. Yes, you have the Transcendent Embrace from Zero, but it was not enough to actually find any value. That's why all eyes were on Liang to find anything, but he hasn't found anything of it.
Still a very difficult game to come back from if you are OBA, because again, assassin-centered lineups tends to have no comeback at all in this game, Wild Rift. And you could see the bullying from Chasing Dreams. Whenever they see Liang, they see gold, right? They don't see stone, they see gold. That's it. And with the Elder Dragon available, it was what was needed for that game-winning push.
I mean, even if he doesn't have any kills, anything, he doesn't give a lot of gold, but he's still a kill. A kill is still a kill, and that could win us a game, or at least win us a fight. And we've seen that time and time again. And even in this Elder Drake fight, Elder Drake, after that, game's basically done for the side of Chasing Dreams there.
Multiple showing of the dragons, all the Elder Dragon, and again, very good showing for Chasing Dreams in game number 1. Do I expect the same thing to happen in game number 2? I feel like, this OBA loss is I would say a series of unfortunate events for them. Started with Liang not really finding his ground. I feel that in game number 2, he will have a better showing overall, and we will have an even better matchup between these two. But we have to give credit where it's due. Chasing Dreams, what a showing for G1.
Great play from Chasing Dreams. I mean, Renzi was just a monster. Spells wasn't even online yet. Spells was just Hextech Ultimatum, playing Hextech Ultimatum game, tap it, just CC someone, and was not even online in the damage department yet. But it entity cut the members right there. But with this, MVP gonna be going to Renzi. No surprises there for him.
Yeah, I mean, the carry jungler for the side of Chasing Dreams. I'm going to poke your assist. Yeah, from
that last kill.
Void Assault.
Yeah.
It saved his record at least by 1 bit. But again, it just doesn't feel right to say that a Galio would go 0-7-0. I just feel like it's something that cannot be replicated here in game number 2. So we're looking into the draft, a very good ban on the Camille, but that's actually very interesting because they're on the blue side.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna be going, or at least give God this. Give God this Camille on Earth. Yeah, maybe give them what they need, right? If ever the Camille, because Hextech Ultimatum, Camille comes from the air. It's like God going from the air, going down. But here, OBA.
Yeah.
What are they gonna pick? Are they gonna be going with the same route like what they did a while ago? I mean, the Karma is banned. They don't have a lot of other options if ever we're thinking about what they did a while ago. But they want to go for a Senna composition.
Which would allow at least Liang have more access to resources. Because it was a quote-unquote cheat code when going with Senna. At least you will have your supports have the ability to farm for themselves. But this is also a very welcome sight here, Dash. I firmly believe that, at least this day, Akali has been on the 100% ban rate so far. So at least now we're seeing the Ninja being allowed to play in the Wild Rift, going to be supplemented by a Galio. It's a very strong 2 picks from CD.
Yeah, great 2 picks already from the side of Chasing Dreams, because with Akali, with the Galio, you have an opportunity to actually make use of the hero's entrance better than what Liang had a while ago. But now Chasing Dreams would have a better chances. It worked. 2 people play, and they have a target already, and that's going to be the Senna.
Senna plus the Nasus. A tale as old as time. Yes, Disney reference, but this is... I don't know. Right? Have you seen Nasus's new skin? Anyway, let me move on to what is going to be picked up here by Chasing Dreams. A very strong pickup. I love Wukong. You know how I feel about this champion when we were doing our pre-prod discussions. I did say that Wukong is going to be the biggest X factor in this tournament, at least in the last few matches. And Chasing Dreams getting access to this Wukong, it's a very flexible pick. It could be picked into the jungle or mid lane or even the Baron lane.
Yeah, and this is going to be way different right now, because with them having the Nasus and the Senna Nasus in their lane, it's going to be easier for them to draft a lot of melee champions, because the Senna is going to be enough to actually sustain most of these people. But as we said, what's great about the Wukong, I love the Wukong. Honestly, Wukong doesn't really have a lot of damage, but the amount of utilities you'll have when you have a Wukong is 2 knockups already. So that's a big, great way to actually start things for your carries.
2 knockups and then 1 dashing ninja. Make it 2. We saw from Chaz earlier the strength of going for that River Shen jungle. It is also possible that this is going to be a Shen in the jungle, just because I feel, you want to give resources more to the Wukong and Akali rather than the Shen. But this is also a very good answer, because you can't taunt a guy that is on Ragnarok, right?
Yeah. And what they need here for Chasing Dreams, seeing a very tanky composition already, and it's a very Senna composition that we're seeing from the side of OBA, you need a bit of DPS. I'm not sure if they need to go for anything that could actually... A Ziggs or a Lux was what I'm looking for a while ago, but they're both banned. So they left them with not a lot of options. Kaisa was forced.
What?
But
this is time-lapse, right? I mean, time-lapse is also a very good marksman player. And this is also a very welcome sight to all viewers out there that has been searching far and wide for a marksman. We present you Kaisa.
Here it is. Here's the marksman that you're looking for. I mean, Senna's there, but technically, Kaisa is a better marksman, right? And a more traditional one at that. So at least now we're going to be seeing it in action. So when it comes to the lineup, OBA, classic. This is one of the things that we see from last year. Every time whenever Senna's comes in, everybody's going to go melee on their comp. In Chasing Dreams, having an assassin, this might be hard for Spells, honestly, because there's not a lot of targets to actually assassinate.
I'm trying to find an angle as well for OBA to lock down a member of Chasing Dreams. They don't have a very big crowd control available
Not
for them.
the hard CC, right?
Yeah, they don't have a hard crowd control for them going. Which means that as an Akali, you'll just be all smiles. Because if they can't CC you, if they can't see you and CC you, things would go into your favor. Plus the fact that you would always have that threat of having not just one, but two people be by your side in an instant. We know the killer's instinct is like an assassin-esque skill for a marksman. And there's also a shit that can just join you with Stand United.
Yeah, and it's a great way to use here for the side of OBA. And what's great about this, though, it's a very classic composition where it's easier to actually get into the back line. You do have a lot of damage from the Kaisa, so everybody's going to be looking towards the Kaisa when it comes to these clashes. But what's great about it, you have a lot of shields, you have a lot of safety for the Kaisa, so it all comes down to how fast OBA could take down time-lapse.
True, and with Kaisa by her lonesome, no, it's going to be a duo in the bot lane. So they want to revert back to standard WRL, sending two people onto the bot lane. The Senna Nasus won't really have what we call kill threat against the Galio and the Kaisa. So it's just going to be a farming game on the bot side of the map, unless someone overextends and allows the jungler to really impact the lane. But this 1v1 is what I would say a more interesting one compared to what we have in the bot lane, because there's a skills matchup, right? You are able to just precisely move and get those vitals against the Akali. Things should go into your favor, but there is that risk of all in from the Akali.
Yeah, and there's still not a lot of damage in the bot lane. I'm really surprised they actually fought that. OBA, Zero is now forced to flash away, and they can feel this pressure in the bot lane, and this would just force them to use the Honey Fruit again. But what's great about that is that they're gonna be healthier because they have a Senna.
True, but the Honey Fruit did actually just allow time-lapse to get some HP here. I believe this is the time that they call their junglers for that cheater recall, because right now the pathing of Renzi, but the pathing right now by Renzi is not in the position to really help Chasing Dreams right now. So just looking at the minions movement in the bot side, I would say that there is a slight advantage for OBA.
Yeah, an advantage would be very much welcome for a composition that OBA has. It's very aggressive, would be great, especially in the mid game. If they take control on this first objective, that would be a very welcome sight for OBA if they want to take over against Chasing Dreams. But right now, they are still chilling around, and they might have a hard time later on if ever they won't be able to pressure after the first objective.
I'm trying to remember here, Dash, the last time that I saw Kaisa in a competitive environment.
Yeah.
Don't pre-pandemic, I guess. no, I'm kidding.
I think there's a lot pre-pandemic. Yeah.
but it's just a very rare side. And speaking of side, they were able to see time in the area. But then again, the fact remains, once you have Kaisa, you have the queen of the late game. We'll be able to demolish the front line and shred the front line of OBA. And the better part of this is it's not she's not going to be impacted that much by Wither, right? She has a Catherine Rain that should allow her to still deal damage even without those normal attacks. But engage!
Yeah, the taunt, they have the ultimate coming in together with a friend, and that friend is going to be helpful because the taunt actually take them to kill Leon. Hero Center is going to come in to actually help out with the damage reduction, and Chasing Dreams gets the first blood.
Uyen, will he arrive on time?
Yeah, I think he's going to be caught in time lapse. That was kind of scary. Great baseball throw from Uyen.
Yeah, short. And now Kanji knows that Uhin did actually respond to the bot side, wanted to box him out. But the good thing for him is he didn't push through with it because, as you can see in the map, time 8 is actually in the area to respond into any shenanigans by chasing dreams. But a very aggressive play overall that was unlocked by the potential of Shen. Again, Renzi on the Shen is a very big X factor. We did say that the Stand United would turn fights left and right and center, and that's what happened in the bot lane.
Yeah, and what would happen for just fights on the next bats that we're gonna be having is that Renzi and Disaster would have the ultimate after 1 minute. Great time that they used it. They thought about it in the future, and now with this great advantage for this next fight because of that one kill that they gave the Kaisa. Because you know, Kaisa really has a weird itemization. That's why it's really hard to play around the Kaisa because she's gonna be building the BF sword, and she would need to get that upgraded Ikatian lane before she builds her actual items.
I guess a double BF sword is actually good for her right now. The last time, I don't know, I still cannot remember the last time I saw Kaisa in a competitive setup. But I feel, you know, this could be a Stormrazer's first item, or maybe not. Doesn't matter. You know, itemizations here in Wild Rift doesn't really spell that big of an impact, at least in the early juncture in the game. And also not to mention that, you know, regardless of what items you have, if you misposition yourself, you are, you can easily be assassinated, especially by the lineup here of OBA.
Yeah, and it's a really fast one too, because time 8 with an Olaf, we all know how an Olaf is in the early game. He's very, very strong. But with OBA and both of our teams actually not going for any aggressive plays, not going for the objectives just yet. They're waiting around each other and feeling it out first before they go for something.
This is a very aggressive stance from OBA. What they want to do is to control the zones by making sure that they can outpoke you with Zero's ability to Spirit Fire you out of the picture. And you can see the Chasing Dreams right now. They want to contest this Infernal Dragon. Renzi is in the area. They all have ultimates available, so this could be a very good 50-50.
Oh, they might not be able to take this though, but Renzi is gonna come in. Timing is not right. The Hero Center is gonna come out. Not gonna be able to get one onto them. The damage is disaster. It's looking like a big disaster for the team here because Time Lapse is gonna be the next target. Perfect execution is gonna come in onto the backline. Time is gonna fall down, and Spelt is gonna be taking Zero down to get with him. The shield is gonna come out. The Stand United is there, and there's the damage coming from Spelt. One more 5-point strike, and not enough to actually let them the kill. Chasing Dreams takes down a 2-for-2.
2-for-2 overall, and I thought it was a doom team fight for Chasing Dreams, but Kanji saved that team fight by himself, going for a multi-man Cyclone. Okay, alright, almost, but not quite.
Barrier.
Yep. Overall, though, I would say that OBA still got the advantage just because they were able to get the Dragon, and Zero's scaling, and also Liang. We often say, you know, Sen Analysis is like the infinite scaling composition or draft that we do have here in Wild Rift, because basically stacks after stacks is what they are known for. But OBA is not content with that Infernal Dragon. They want this Rift Herald as well dash.
Yeah. And what's great about this, though, is OBA knows that they have the advantage, and Chasing Dreams might be able to contest this. They don't have a lot of ultimates, OBA does, and there's going to be a fight to work for. Renzi is going to be able to take the Rift Herald, good steal, but they're losing all their lives. The Cyclone is going to be there onto the back line, and they are going to be able to survive for just a bit, but Time Lapse is going to be the next target. Another knock-up comes in, but the God was able to put the lightning down on them, and that's 4 people down, and that's going to be it. The Spelt action, the Spelt hero moment. He was able to get one with a perfect execution, and he is going to fall down to the Ninja falls, and Konoha is no more.
Spell TZ tried to save that fight, but to no avail. OBA was just in firm control of every zones, and again with the AoE skills that they do have, 1 HP on the tower. Zero is the name of the game. With the Ignite taking, I think this should be a kill.
Yeah,
there
I
you
think
go.
this is gonna be a kill, an easy one at that though, and
One
Zero
more?
is gonna be given to Time Lapse just for their troubles. They need something for their troubles, and this is gonna be the tower in the mid lane. At least they were able to react accordingly to that tower take.
Now they're going to rotate on the top side. Chasing Dreams still is punching through and is showing some signs of life against OBA. They're not willing to let OBA run away with things. And now with a back-to-back tower broken for the side of Chasing Dreams, the gold lead that was once 2K, 3K for the side of OBA is now trimmed down to 1K. So that's a welcome sight because again, they still have some scaling champions that need some items to really be very effective. That's the Akali, that's the Kaisa. So you could easily say that whatever happened in the earlier team fight can easily be reversed by Chasing Dreams once they get hold of those items.
I like the way that they played around the towers even after losing, right? They know how to play around these disadvantages that they got and traded some around the map. OBA wasn't expecting them to actually go to the top side and just take the tower there. Now, it's almost as equal as it could be before they got aced by OBA. And that's just great macro from Chasing Dreams.
And the bigger question here is, will OBA be ready by the time that the second dragon spawn? I mean, Chasing Dreams, will they be ready to really impact the team fight by the time that the second dragon spawns up? Because again, when talking about their dragons and its impact in the game, its permanent stat buff, and 3 dragons is just so hard to defeat.
Oh, perfect execution. They have the ultimate hero's entrance. The hero is here with the cape, and they are wanting to get the 0. The dog is down, and they want to go for more, and Uyen is going to be the next target. That is under 1 takedown with the right timing, too, for 0. Shutdown comes in.
That's a steamroll composition that we have discussed from earlier. Again, just the ability to have someone go in and have a follow-through by 2 or 3 members is actually very big for Chasing Dreams. Now they want this tower.
Taking down. They have the hold. Time-lapse is trying to do some damage, but they have a lot of wave clear though, so it's not going to be easy for them to just take that down. And now they defend their tower for another day.
Yep. And how many ultimates did they expend? Those ultimates, actually a total of 5 ultimates were expended to get at least 2 pickups for Chasing Dreams. Good news for them is that by the time that this dragon spawns up, most of their ultimates should be available. So this next team fight could be the breaking moment of this game here, Dash.
Yeah, they are geared towards this next one though. 0 gonna be able to get the weather onto time-lapse. Time-lapse moving so slow. That's not gonna be enough to actually help them out, but 2 seconds on the Drake, and they're still respecting each other at this point. But I believe that OBA still has the advantage here.
True. Another 50-50 here. Renzi has lost smite fights earlier.
Oh no! The hold was perfect. The time is right, and the Mountain Dragon is going to be taken easily. Great way to use. Liang just played it so well, but the fight still not done. They have the Shuriken flip. Was able to get in. They have the damage Cyclone onto the backline. They have the Killer Instinct too. The ADC is already in front of them, but Liang might be left alone here. But look at the other side of the fight. They are losing 1 member. Kanji has fallen, and 30 seconds is now on their clocks, and nobody has fallen from OBA.
And you did say that, when it comes to sustain, the Senna gameplay will always almost have the advantage. A very good snipe coming from Uyen. And just the exclamation point of it all. OBA runs away with another team fight win. Their front to back has been pristine. Assassination attempt by Spells has just been answered by flashes from OBA. And that's a huge swing once again for OBA.
Yeah, great play. Great use of the composition from OBA. Look at this replay, though. The Hero's Entrance wasn't able to find any value.
Yep, 0 value at all. And looking at Spells, you can see that he wanted that kill. He really wanted to assassinate Time 8. And with the follow-through of time-lapse, they thought they had it. They really thought they had it. I thought that they had it, but with a very timely flash from Time 8, that's what was needed by OBA to just catapult that front to back into their favor.
Yeah, great lead. 3k gold from now for the side of OBA. And Chasing Dreams are still finding their ground on how they play around this, because so far, they're quite struggling a bit against the members of OBA when it comes to this fight. And as we said, amount of sustain should be respected. And the longer the fight goes, it's gonna be going towards OBA.
Of course, I mean, that's what Senna is known for, right? The long, extended team fights. But you know what surprised me the most here? OBA's ability to play around the Olaf. Look at the Olaf's gold. 11,620. That just means that, almost all resources being given to him. On top of that, he was able to net 10 out of 11 KP for kill participation. So far, Time 8 by OBA is saying that, you know what, Renzi may have outplayed me in game number 1, but not too much, not to a point that, you know, you could easily say that Renzi was a better jungler. Time 8, at least in game number 2, is showing his case that he's a better jungler, at least in the series.
Yeah, and honestly, the way they used this miss since a while ago, together with the Rift Herald on the top side, that's gonna be an easy take for this team. OBA
Boom.
just gonna walk away with another tower in their hands. And Time 8 is just leading the charge here.
Oh.
You get the kill in the bot lane, but at what cost? They might be able to lose a lot of towers on the bot lane. On top side, Dawning Shadow has been used. They have the shield. The slow and exhaust is enough to actually take them, the inhibitor turret down. And that's just so much, just for one kill on the bot side.
I'm trying to remember the numbers here. Renzi, though, trying to go for the chase. That brush.
Yeah, too aggressive. Renzi might fall down here. They have the taunt coming in, and this is going to be the flash happening to the side. They might lose a lot of the members. Hero's Engine's going to come in, but what would it do? To what amount is it going to be effective? Because nobody could actually take damage on the hands of Chasing Dreams.
Sad series of events for the side of Chasing Dreams, but OBA again, with a very aggressive decision-making coming from them, was able to maximize the tower push on the top side, and now they have their sights over to the Baron. Renzi not available to contest this one, and this is going to be a very easy secure for OBA, unless...
Kanji might still be able to take this. He has the Cyclone to work with, though. It took some time, and they are not going to be able to steal it in the end. And look at this, time-lapse is trying his best to do something out of nothing, but Kanji just fell. They didn't have any smite, but it was a good try.
I'm still trying to find an avenue for Chasing Dreams to come back into this game. Looks grim, looks gray. I tell you not. It's so far, it's just so hard to penetrate through. With 3 armor items available to this Olaf, you could easily say that Timelapse won't have enough space to deal damage because he will be forced to hit this Olaf. That's what's going to happen. And he won't be able to really dish out enough damage with 3 items to the 4 items of Time 8. I guess it's safe to say that OBA, barring any miraculous comeback from Chasing Dreams, this could mean that we have a game 3.
Yeah, and he's throwing himself towards time-lapse every time, and that's why you're going to be forced to actually attack him. And it's not going to be easy for them to actually take something out of that. Hero Sentinel's going to come in, but 2 tanky members are in front, and Kanji is not going to be able to find anything out of that, though. The Cyclone is going to be there to help them out, but bot lane is going to be taken down by God, and God is raining terror against the members right here, and they are fighting against them. Timeless was forced to flash away, and they don't have anything to actually help them out. The damage from OBA, the sustain, look at their HP. They still are very healthy, even if they're not on their base, and Chasing Dreams might not be able to get this game too. Randy wasn't able to find anything, and this tower is gonna fall down. Next is gonna fall, and OBA takes us to game 3.
We have a series here, Dash. And there is a very good showcase as to why Marksman has been relegated into the bench role. I guess this game sums it up. I mean, Timelapse tried, but the progression of his damage isn't enough to outscale this stance that really gets access to these very early tank items. And a very good showing by OBA. I'm looking at their logo. It says OBA, Oda. I mean,
One Piece.
Goat. Yeah, I know, Goat author. But is it OBA? Is it Oda? Is it a reference? Is it a homage?
A One Piece reference?
Yeah, I know. Is it a homage for Oda, the author of One Piece? We would never know. But right now, what we do know is that OBA was able to stick as 5 and win as 5 against Chasing Dreams. Assassin-esque lineup.
Yeah, and the problem here is that they depended themselves so much on time-lapse damage, and because they picked the Akali first, most of the drafts from OBA are very tanky, or at least could put out could do, because there's not a lot of assassin targets.
True. And also, whatever movement was made by Chasing Dreams to at least try to get even in this team fights, they are automatically negated by this 5v5s, where it's not just the smite fights, right? It's also just the ease of execution. It's just so easy to execute this analysis composition. Look at what they did here. Front to back, flash when critical, and rely on Liam's ability to position himself to go untouched. Because again, the primary target in this lineup is the Senna. If you cannot take away the Senna, that basically means that you have lost a team fight, right? But again, Liang, contrast to game number 1, he's more impactful on this champion. In the 0-7 or 0-8 performance on game number 1 is now an afterthought.
Yeah, and was able to redeem himself in this game. And again, chasing dreams. This was just so hard because Renzi wasn't able to pop off because remember, he's using a Shen, playing around his teammates. And I think on game 3, they need to go back to what they did in game 1. Try to make him the carry, try to make him the centerpiece of your composition because that works. Here, it didn't on this game.
Very... I wouldn't say very different from game number 1 because we still saw flashes from Renzi. But I just feel that if you funnel, yeah, that's true. But if but I just firmly believe that if you funnel more resources onto Renzi, he will make more out of it than being relegated into the Shen duty. But right now, though, that's the game plan. They knew that would be effective against the lineup of OBA. Then under Yumi, and then OBA will now be forced to ban Camille. But if they don't ban Camille, then other priority picks will be available for chasing dreams. I dare say, Jace is also a very effective jungler for Renzi. That's also a champion that he played a lot back in his days with Oasis. Okay, so what will be the first pick here?
They're going to be first picking something. Karma is available, though. If ever they are going to be having a first pick.
They can go for Ziggs. I think right now, Karma's relevance is tied with the Nautilus as a pairing.
That's true, right. So they went for the Chase. So still flexible. They can go for anything if ever they want to here. 3 solo lanes or even the jungle. And what could OBA go for here? Because without the Camille, they could go for a Gragas at least to fight again, to let Liang just full redemption.
Redeem himself? Okay.
Yeah, full redemption.
I dare say it's going...
There you go.
Hey, all right. Sure. So it will be a Karma once again, most likely, or a Ziggs, which we're in, the response of Chasing Dreams. I mean, if you're OBA, you're forced to pick up Karma here, because if you don't pick Karma, the opening for Chasing Dreams to go for a very easy to execute bot lane of Karma Nautilus will be in
There's the opening. Okay. There's the opening right there. Is Chasing Dreams gonna be taking that actually, the Karma Nautilus? Because as you said, it's an easy bot lane to pull off, and against a Gragas and whatever else, it might be hard. But it's looking like what you said. Most likely is gonna be a Nautilus here.
Because as a blue side, what you have to do is to really secure as much power picks as you can. Lessen the possible counter picks for your side, but Chasing Dreams is saying that, Nautilus is no longer the flavor of the month. And Galio would be, a better pickup for Disaster. It's a mix and match. But I favor Nautilus a little bit more.
Yeah. The Galio is okay, but as you said, yeah, it's better to have the Nautilus to have the easier way out and way in. But OBA going back to the Olaf. I mean, whatever works, works. And you don't need to fix it for this one.
Okay. I firmly... I think right now, Dash, that once... Okay, because OBA did show their hand very early, Chasing Dreams now can revolt their draft to center around a Shyvana pickup for Chasing Dreams. Because it does look like that, this is actually a very good Shyvana angle. Looking at the duel between Shyvana versus an Olaf, you could say it's an evenly matched up jungle pairing or jungle matchup, just because both of them wants to do the same thing. They both want to farm. And when you have a farming Shyvana that has the access to shields by Karma and shields or support of Galio, things should go into your favors, right? So now the question for Chasing Dreams, will this be a Shyvana game, or they have possibly Yone in mind?
This actually be helpful for them though, because with the, as you said though, they need a bit of damage here with this composition, or they can still put out the Jace in the jungle if ever for them, and try to pick up something else to at least carry them. Maybe let Kanji, let Spells have the chance here. But it's looking like it's a better angle though.
Yep,
honestly,
for Shyvana, right?
I don't see. Yeah, I think there's not a lot of ways to actually go around this if you want to fight against the Olaf.
The very good pickup here by OBA. They need crowd control, going for that light binding, supplementing this Gragas in the bot lane. It's, you know, the quote-unquote kill lane. Every single time that you have a Lux in the bottom lane, there's always a threat. And we saw the aggression by Zero and Liang, you know, trying to out-trade their opponents using the Xenonas's lane. Another showing by the Akali. I'm okay with it, but if they go for Shyvana now, they don't have really a beefy face checker frontline. But we'll see.
They don't have a lot of damage too, because I don't believe that
okay.
They went for the Lee Sin. At least had the early game power
cured?
But I think Olaf still has a lot of damage. But at least I think what they're looking at here for the side of Chasing Dreams is that they want to have a big kill pressure early on before the first objective. But OBA, Zed too.
This Zed is going to be neutralized as a split push champion, just because as to how how the draft went. They have a very strong side laners now, talking about OBA, because not only do they have Fiora and Zed, they always have that luxury of having that final spark coming from Zero as an insurance as well. Not to discount the draft here by Chasing Dreams, so I feel that OBA just has a slight advantage.
Yeah, OBA with this, I really like this composition because they have tons of things to work for them. They have the Olaf, they have the Gragas. I think that too is enough for me to actually say that OBA could just mow down Chasing Dreams, because they have a lot of targets that especially for the Zed to actually take down, and it's easier for them to just go front to back with this composition. On the other hand, Chasing Dreams would have spells to actually take down Zero, but one light binding could turn down the fight here from OBA.
True. It all boils down to how effective Renzi's Lee Sin is. Because if there is one champion that can really carry the early game, that's the Lee Sin for you. Yeah. I've seen, Lee Sin 1v9 multiple games, not just in Wild Rift, also in League of Legends PC. So a lot really rides in the shoulders of Renzi.
Yeah, it's compared to an Olaf though, there's a lot more chances to actually make a mistake for Renzi, but it's Renzi we're talking about, so it might be a different call here for the side of Chasing Dreams. So if ever, all comes down to how they play the early game. It would be hard if this goes for long, because the Lee Sin would have a harder time compared to timing.
True. As we enter into the Wild Rift for the ultimate game between Chasing Dreams and OBA. No more tomorrow for both the squads. Fighting for their lives here, Dash, and look at Chasing Dreams. Ooh. They're going for some cheese strat.
Yeah. Go for cheese, but
no. Okay.
Great ward from Uyen though. Not too aggressive, just putting the ward, chilling out. Because if it was a bit more aggressive, that could have been disastrous for OBA.
And now this matchup between this mid lane, between Jace and Zed, of course, Jace has the advantage when it comes to the range advantage. So level 1 to 4 should be in his favor. But things would get tricky by the time that Zed goes level 5 because of the Death Mark all and potential. But if you are a Kanji, all you have to do is to just supplement your playstyle with some HP, boost it with possibly All Breaker, and those all ends would at least be negated.
Honestly, the Hall Break is enough. So actually make it hard for Zed in the lane. This Hall Break is just too good, especially in Wild Rift. In PC, it's not that good anymore, but in Wild Rift, it's still super effective, especially against Assassin.
True. It's not just because of the passive, right? It's also because of the base stats that it provides, multiple HP, multiple damage as well. And that's the reason why it became a default pick for not just Jace, but some mid laners as well. Calling back from Icon's global days. Look at Disaster though. He's trying to match up with Liang here in the mid lane. So no fancy engages invades from both sides, so it's just an all even matchup. Meanwhile, Renzi, though, again on this season, should have the tempo advantage, and tempo advantage does he have?
I like that when it comes to the meta, right? The rotations, people have focused during the last months. People have focused more on the top side of the map, but right now it's way more different because everybody's focusing their eyes on the mid lane. Because I think right now it's way easier to have a focus in the middle. Just think about it. Right now, fights happen. Liang forced the body slam away.
Exactly, and in the mid lane, once blood spills, it will be a bloodbath because it could be potentially not just be the support being there for you and your squad, but also the jungler. So what could be a 1v1 could turn into a 3v3 real quick. And you can see the Chasing Dreams with the early game advantage that they possess, although...
just one. Zero was forced to flash away and use Ghost even. That's a great win for Chasing Dreams.
Yeah, but that's a flash for a flash. Disaster also expended his flash. But you're right, that still is a win for Chasing Dreams because they were able to secure 2 scuttles. I remember the day that, whenever you secure 2 scuttles in the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of the game, things... wait.
Okay. I thought that it's still the early game. I thought that's going to be a kill because that was scary. That was scary.
Yeah. I held my breath for a second there because I felt like, OBA had the angle to really assassinate time-lapse. And the light binding connecting could be an opening for Liang, but they decided against that. Again, time-lapse with exhaust still available is still, I would say, we should still survive and engage at that point. So right now, though, OBA trying to make a play onto the jungle of Chasing Dreams.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But with the way that OBA plays around this, though, they're playing a bit more aggressively, right? Compared to how they were in Gen 2. They're playing a bit more aggressively. With the focus down on their side, this might both members of basically just take the Raptor. They took the Raptors, let's take it.
What's the reasoning behind the explosive cast, though? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe it's just to clear the wave.
I think they're trying to get something out of the kill there.
We'll see. I don't know. I mean, it should be available by the time the objective spawns up at 5 minutes. But still, you could see that this version of Liang, at least in the early portion of the game, with his Gragas, instead of the Galio, instead of the Senna, it's a new variety. It's a new flavor of Liang overall. But then again, in 20 seconds, there could be, a very impactful explosive cast, contrary to what we have seen just now.
Yeah. And from what we're seeing, though, I like that OBA has been just trigger happy. Whenever there's an explosive gas opportunity for Liang here, they're going to be trying to go for it. Because they have a Olaf anyway, the early game damage is not a problem. So now, with the objective coming in, OBA, amount of vision that they have, looking like they want to contest this Rift battle against Chasing Dreams. Or rather, Dragon, sorry. Dragon.
Yeah. Dragon or Rift Herald, both very juicy targets, but the 1v1 continues.
For some way. With the hands of OBA, they're still thinking about what to do, and they might be able to help out. Rift Herald is being taken already. They're not going to be contesting. I like this. That they're all just giving out what they can and not trying to take any risks. They might be able to, to go in, body slam. They might not be able to take anything else. Not the cost on time 8.
Right.
And time 8 is time no more. But his dad, Chasing Dreams, are chasing their dreams. They want to win. And Liang is going to be the target here. Look at that. From far away, body slam would not be able to do anything. That's going to be a kill again. 2-0 for Chasing Dreams.
Chasing Dreams, if they get this mid lane tower, that would be the exclamation point they need. They expended their Rift Herald here in the mid lane, but the tower is still standing firm, standing strong with the wave clear available to 0. I would say that he should be able to defend this tower. No cannon minion in sight. But still is a small win for Chasing Dreams. It's a trade, right? They went for the OBA went for the Infernal Dragon, Chasing Dreams went for the Rift Herald. But then again, the question mark is, will you be able to translate the Rift Herald into a tower? And Chasing Dreams did not succeed in doing so, at least in the first few minutes after securing it.
Yeah, and I hope that they would be able to do something more for this guy for OBA, because even if they take the Infernal Drake, it's not going to have any value at this point in the game for them.
Oh!
Maybe later on after they fail, after this area like finding
Stasis
is there to actually hold them out. Ragnarok is not actually going to be helping them.
Renzi!
Look at that. Renzi gets 2 man, and they're not able to follow up.
Yep, but they will be able to secure this tower. That's the goal for Chasing Dreams. So all is well now, in accordance to the plan that they have set forth in this game. If you draft Lee Sin, you basically have to win the early game, and Rift Heralds really help you win the early game.
Yeah, and with the Rift Herald that they have, look at this Chasing Dreams. They're now able to take down the tower in the bot lane, tower in the mid lane also. God fighting against Belts. With the Twilight Shroud, it would be hard for them to net any kill. Ignite taking on his head, they're not going to be able to net the kill.
Doesn't even need to use the barrier. Spells. Oh!
Okay.
Okay. All right. A small gasp moment for Mod to lose there, because I thought there would be not really arcane comment, but what was the other skill? Airy? Yeah, Airy. Okay. But Zero does have Electrocute, not Airy, so no follow through whatsoever against Belts. Still use the barrier though.
I hope that they would be able to continue together with this for the side of Chasing Dreams, that they're just taking over this early stages of the game and haven't seen any big plays from Uyen just yet, which is what I'm expecting, honestly.
Uyen and company is being leashed here by Chasing Dreams, because you can see. Oh wait.
Okay, not playing Kanji to be chased down. Even under the dirt, they won't care because they won't be able to have the damage with time 8 ticking on his dead, and Uyen is going to be running away, leaving a shadow right there to the flash. Was able to bamboozle a bit. Not enough to actually net them anything else. Liang is going to be able to do some damage. Stasis is going to be here. They have the flash to work with, and that's not enough to actually get the kill. OBA trying their best. They was at least able to take one.
Yep, Liang still would cancel out the recall here by Disaster, but more importantly, OBA was able to own the bottom lane tower. Not only that, I believe there was a steal onto the red buff. There you go, a 1v1 scenario, jungler versus jungler.
Yeah, at the junglers here, OBA, they're just gonna be taking that. And now with the Rift Herald available, for the side of Chasing Dreams, it would be a way different story here. Because looking at Renzi, look at how aggressive he's been. He knows that time 8 is not a threat at this point, because he's just not going to be committing into any big fights. He's just going to be annoying the backline as far as he can.
Yep, but I mean, OBA is still showing some signs of life and has trimmed down the goal lead to 0. But they're engaged though.
Yeah, pretty close. Stasis. Hold is there though. Transcendent Embrace is not going to be hitting anybody except for Zero on the back lines. 3k HP onto the Rift Herald. They can still try to take this though. They have the Death Mark. They're not going to be able to take the Rift Herald easily. Not even a kill from OBA.
But the Rift Herald has been secured here by Chasing Dreams 2-4-2 when it comes to the Rift Heralds, and has 30 seconds to basically spam recall and go for a play for the second dragon. OBA loves their dragons. We can remember from game number 2, OBA was able to secure, I believe, 3 dragons for themselves, just because of that smite differences between the 2 junglers. But now, it's all been trades. And this could be our explosive team fight here, Dash, because Renzi, at this point, is ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah. Renzi could go for a fight whenever he wants to. No vision here, aside of Chasing Dreams. But with the Rift Herald threatening their mid lane, are they going to be continuing to take the Ocean Drake? Because they don't have Uyen on this fight. This is not a fight that they want to take at this point. Because Chasing Dreams are ready. They're just waiting for them to pull the trigger here.
And Chasing Dreams wants OBA to start this dragon. Uyen though.
Fighting a 1v1. Shock Blast. Not able to hit on Kanji. And they're going to be chasing
time
OBA.
8.
Time 8. Gonna be slowed down. They have the hold. They Transcendent Embrace. Is that going to force a reaction though? Ragnarok is not pulled right here. Renzi knows that they're low in HP, so they can take this.
I think that's enough to dissuade OBA's challenge. Spells though is having problems with God.
Okay, 1v1 God. Is he gonna go to hell though if ever he kills God? He's not, because he's just gonna be fighting this. Chasing Dreams. High HP on time 8. He could just go for this if ever he wants to. He just pulls him back. They have their representatives to work with, but they don't have a lot of teammates to help them out. Is this gonna be given? Yes, it is. And Disaster's left alone. They have the flash to work with. 5 people are still alive. They're gonna be dashing out of the way, and Chasing Dreams just lick their roots.
You know what? OBA reminds me so much of Flash Wolves. That just their way to try to out-discipline the other team, the opposing squad. They're not going to go for the all-risky play, but rather they're going to force you to make a decision. And in Chasing Dreams, even after utilizing all their resources to try to trim down the health of Time 8, because of his Warmog's armor, it didn't matter. He will just tank up to full health in an instant, and OBA now has 2 dragons threatening the 3rd dragon. Chasing Dreams now has a problem to solve.
Yeah, they have a lot of things working for them on the hands of OBA. So what's great about this is that Chasing Dreams is still having a hard time. They still can't position themselves well against OBA because, you know, until now, Time 8 is still going to be a threat. It's still, even without any damage items, still going to be hard. But yeah, they're not going to be continuing any fights whatsoever at this point. But with 2 towers down on both sides, everybody's still feeling each other out.
But there's like one clear thing that is ongoing for OBA. They have the split pushing God on the side lane, unchallenged by Spelts. On the mid lane though.
Okay, post him back. Just send it embrace with the donut. Not enough fillings though to actually do some damage. Ragnarok has been pulled through, but Liang is just moving towards them, though. That is very aggressive. And now with time lapse, now able to get the hold. Liang is now left alone. He's not going to be dying because he was able to flash away. And there's the dash coming from Cells. The ninja is going to be going in. Has the shuriken flip. Would be able to get the perfect execution at the perfect time. And that is going to be Spelt. Just letting them a win with a 4v5. This is going to be a fight for the century. They still have one member, Kanji, on the top side. Light binding, perfect placement. Disaster slow in HP, but they got the tower on the top side, which is okay at least.
Yep, and also was able to display the attempt of God to split push. Uihindo is going to face Kanji on the top side. And overall, the fight is not yet finished. Renzi with the almost Ghost Blade, still very slippery. At the end of it all, OBA was able to get the tower in the mid lane. Oh!
Very slippery slope, fighting out 1v1. Kanji
no!
is going to be flashing in. Doesn't have the 2 disguise anymore, doesn't have any mana. But he's not going to be able to win this fight because it is a 3v1.
Yep. With that small information that OBA was able to get from that part of the top side, they were able to deduce that there is a smelly Jace waiting or trying to recall in that Tribrush. And OBA with that exit kill might just be happy and content with what's happening right now. Again, they still have the advantage when it comes to the dragon count. The 3rd dragon will be a very explosive team fight here. Dash and you could see in the replay here, Spelt started it off with a very good kill. But the follow-through is not going to be there anymore. The perfect execution is going to be enough to assassinate one. God is already a threat. And what was that?
Yeah, I was just surprised though. I was just surprised again. By Zero, seeing the double light bindings was just crazy. But right now, was pulled another light binding from Zero. I just jinxed myself again right there. And they're gonna be going in. They don't have a lot of damage, but they were able to take a kill on time lapse. They are still great because Pelts was able to get one to the back line. Zero might be the next target here. No more Ragnarok on time 8. There's a good chance for CD. The damage is there. And OBA having a hard time actually fighting this. They're backing away. Living Shadow out of the way. Just this punch is not gonna be able to hit. And OBA backs away with a 2-for-1.
Still an overall win for the side of Chasing Dreams now. They're threatening.
Lindsay,
another all-in. Oh,
Body Slam is not there. Time 8 gonna be caught by the taunt, and that's a kill. 4 people are still alive. They can still do something about this. What?
Yeah, but they should be content. They should be content. Okay, that's a huge gold swing for the side of Chasing Dreams. Was able to also take down the tower in the mid lane, and it all started with I would say a very good start from Zero. You call it out, a very good light binding, but because of the ability of Chasing Dreams to collapse, again, when talking about Karma and Galio, all their utilities will prevent all those lethal blows, and with Spelts and Renzi ready to foray, Chasing Dreams was able to fight their winning clash.
this assignment where time 8 needs to be scared on the damage that CD could pull off, because they can do
That
damage.
rush?
And now Leon, body slam, not able to get really far away, but he's not gonna be able to go far because he's taunted. He needs to go close. He needs to back away. He needs to flash. And he was not able to, because Spells is already here onto the back line. He has the Shuriken flip. Too aggressive. Falls down. And now this might be the chance for OBA to actually turn things around. 2 people are down on the side of Chasing Greens. And they are being chased down by OBA. But they're not going to continue because that's enough.
Spells greeted Liang. There's no reason for him to follow through with that. That's just a support. With what happened there, now OBA has flipped the script and now is able to get their 3rd dragon. I feel for Chasing Dreams. They had every intentions, and they, it was the right intention. The execution could have been cleaner. Overall, though, Liang was the catalyst of that play, having to bait himself out to prevent Chasing Dreams to snag the 3rd dragon.
It's a bit different right now, though. For the side of OBA, it needs to go like that. They need to punish the mistake of Chasing Dreams. And that was so aggressive, as you said. I was surprised that Spells actually just went in there and tried to get the kill, even with Liang. I think the better target could have been 0, but I don't know. I was surprised.
Because the rule of thumb here in Wild Rift is it doesn't really matter if you are able to kill the tanks. What is needed is for them to second guess themselves so that you will find opening to the primary targets. If it was 0, if it was Win, or maybe even time 8, it could have been a lot better for Chasing Dreams. Now, I hate to break the news to the fans of Chasing Dreams, but the chances of them winning this game has just dwindled down. This 3 dragons is going to help the scaling composition of OBA, and add to the fact that Chasing Dreams does have a Lee Sin. LS is not really the best late game jungler, so we'll see.
That's what they're being judged with. That I found an answer now on why they were so aggressive in taking a kill, because they're losing time. They know that this might be their last time on actually fighting. This is the death hour for the members of Chasing Dreams. That's why they need to take a fight. They need to take something, because the longer the stalemate goes, it's gonna go good for OBA.
Oh, and now OBA is challenging this blue buff with no regard for their opponent.
Yeah, no regard for the safety, though. The damage again. Leon's gonna be the target time and time again. Nobody is gonna be hit by the final spark. And now, want to spark an argument, but OBA still wants to continue right here. Too aggressive right there from God. He's not God, because he's gonna fall down. He's not all seeing. He's not all being, because everybody's here. OBA has been taunted. Was enough to actually dwindle down or mitigate the fight from going explosively.
That's a questionable flank from God. Was not even able to use his flash nor his barrier. But good thing for OBA is Spells also died in the process. So no man advantage whatsoever for OBA. And look at this. A very sneaky Baron for OBA.
They're pinging. They're pinging. They know. They have an idea. This ward right here was enough to actually call it for them. Right now, too aggressive right here. Time 8 gonna be the target. But it's not enough damage to actually do something against Disaster. Liang so low in HP with Renzi. They're not gonna be able to net the kill again. Liang has been a target since a while ago.
Yep, sold his soul to the demons and is surviving any engages by Chasing Dreams. But the Elder Dragon is now alive and kicking. If Chasing Dreams wins this team fight, if they get this Elder Dragon, then yes, they have a chance to win this late game. But if OBA secures it, book it for OBA.
There's a bigger chance that they might lose this, because as we said, they have 3 dragons already on OBA and everything has scaled. And God might deal so much damage with what he has right now. So it's really scary. But with what we're seeing, there might be a window to lose, because look at this. This is the window that I'm looking for, because that was it. They forced Uyan to get out of the way, and there's top lane for OBA.
Yep, the question is, does God have teleport available for him? Because
he doesn't have.
This is a 4v5.
He has the stasis. So this is a fight that they can take. OBA.
Oh no!
It's a good thing that they're distracting Chasing Dreams.
Oh no!
What is happening? They're being forced out. They're not letting them just take this. They're gonna be falling down. They need to get away. They need to recall, because somebody's gonna need to help that base. Because that base is gonna be taking down. They're falling down. Look at that. The HP of the tower is falling down. Nexus is gonna fall. Then OBA. God, they're all seeing, all hearing. Even with the bumble a while ago, he was the one who won them the game.
the divine movement, divine decision making from God himself. OBA wins it for their squad. It advances to have a knockout match between them and 300.
Wow.
What a win from the Masters region. I was bamboozled. I don't know what to say.
I thought it was, honestly, I was surprised too, because I thought they're gonna be losing that fight because they don't have God. With sorry, that sounds so.
I know.
It sounds so weird, but
It sounds
they don't
so
have.
Atheistic. Okay.
Yeah,
But
they don't
that's
have
okay.
God with them, because it's a 4v5 that they could take. Chasing Dreams do that because it's a 4v5 that we can take. We try to actually take them down, but OBA knows how to play it. They just backed away so that they won't be able to do anything. And after they backed away, they knew the top lane turret is gonna pull down. Let's chase them because they can't recall after this.
Yeah,
Very
it's
smart.
It's actually a game for OBA to lose. Again, almost everything points towards a victory for OBA. The scaling is at their advantage. Spells could not handle God already. I mean, at that point in the game, because again, Fiora should win against the Akali in a split push matchup. The 3 dragons was also very beneficial for them. This is actually one of the positive points for the composition of Chasing Dreams. You could see its potential. It's the snowball composition. They get 1 kill, they just catapult themselves into getting more, right? But this is, I believe, one of the questionable plays that Spells did in this series. Going for Liang at this moment was too aggressive, over-aggressive, to say the least. And Chasing Dreams has to bow out of the tournament.
Yeah, that was a bit overbearing for the side of Chasing Dreams. And you said it also a while ago that they're on a ticking time bomb, and OBA are just using the time in their favor. And the longer the game went, it was so hard for Chasing Dreams to make a decision because they need to find a way to actually go for a fight. An Elder Dragon maybe, but God was there too. It's all because of God that they were able to answer their prayers have been answered. Their prayers have been answered.
And you know what happened? Chasing Dreams got ruptured.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but yeah, I had to do it. Anyway, OBA advances and still will have another fight in them. It's going to happen now, today. But we're just going to enter a very short break afterwards. Let's look into the stats. Time 8 once again has been very steady on this Olaf, looking at the damage potential. So this potential matchup between Time 8 and Chaz is also something that we have to discuss by series number 4. Because you could see that OBA has flashes of what we saw from the junglers of the Masters region, namely Cookie from Flash Pools. He was also very steady in utilizing carry junglers. And Time 8 is just reminding me of FW Cookie. Simply said.
Yeah, Time 8 is a really strong jungler. Honestly, the way they